I was actually still scribbling all over this about 5 minutes ago, so it's just like being at university all over again. I just want to say good evening and a quick thank you for inviting me to this event, and how delighted I am to be back on my old stomping ground. When I first came to CQU in 1998, as it was then called, I was absolutely and positively convinced I knew exactly what I was going to be, a marine biologist. I was practically raised on a boat and I had a great love for animals, so it just kind of made sense. What I didn't realise at that time, however, was that in order to study animals, you do tend to have to cut them up first. And also apparently you can't study marine biology in a shark cage, so that kind of just fell apart. I next fell into primary school teaching, and while many of the concepts and theories related to curriculum design and pedagogy would later come in handy, a 1-month stint in a daycare centre was enough to tell me that a career in early childhood education was also not for me. At about this time, I enrolled in my first arts elective, and suddenly everything began to fall into place. The subject was actually screen studies, coordinated by Associate Professor Errol Veith, who would later become one of my beloved PhD supervisors, along with the wonderful Dr. Jeanette Delamore. I've always loved films, but what particularly fascinated me about this subject was the way it began to change my perspective of the world around me. I began to not only watch films, but to dissect them, much to the annoyance and disgust of my friends and families, who now also dissect and analyse films, particularly product placement things. They can't watch anything now with me. So, I also began to understand the subtle and sometimes not so subtle undercurrents that are at play underneath the main storylines. Colours and lighting started to take on a whole new meaning, as the distorted image of a person's face in the reflection of a window came to symbolise the fractured nature of the protagonist's soul. The particular shade of red glowing from a bedroom light reflected unrequited passion, while the blue tint indicated the cold and often harsh realities of life. From here, I went on to study the fascinating nature of semiotics and gained the ability to break down an image into its individual components, an ability that has still continued to reap rewards in my later life with my research into product placement and associated advertising techniques. What I found so fascinating was that breaking down what would seem to be an innocuous image could reveal so much about our society and the various ideological tensions at play. I remember a few years later standing in a bank queue staring at an advertisement for one of their savings accounts. What started off as just a fun exercise to relieve some boredom actually revealed some really interesting insights into our culture. The image was of a woman holding a young child's hand in her hand. And one of the two things that stood out to me was that both their hands were white, and that also it was this hand that was being held up to show the wedding ring that was glinting in the light. And it's provided a really interesting insight into the pedagogies that are still at play in our society. Dr. John Fitzsimmons' own Shakespeare the Movie highlighted the importance of the bard in shaping and developing popular culture today, with so many films being adaptations or reinterpretations of the original texts. Dr. Jeanette Delamore's Cultural Industries, which I unfortunately never took, but which I was lucky enough to have the experience of tutoring in my postgraduate years, revealed to students the often startling truth to them that there are only 7 to 8 opinions in the world at any one time, a direct result of corporate control over media distribution. Dr. Wally Woods, where are you? Where did he go? Where are you? Hey, there you are. Sorry, I can't see you. His course on sexuality and representation meant that I have never been able to read some books or watch some movies again in exactly the same way, so thank you for that. And this is exactly why Bachelor of Arts degrees are so important, not just for the fascinating and diverse range of subjects and majors that cover so many aspects of today's life, but for the ability to see the world from a different perspective. I was able to take what I learned and apply it directly to real-life situations. When I graduated from university, it was not just as an arts graduate. I left as a lifelong learner, equipped with the skills to navigate the world around me. A Bachelor of Arts provides you with the scope and the skills to pursue various areas of interest and potential career paths. For myself, this career path led to an honours dissertation and a PhD examining the changing practice of product placement. This study incorporated extensive research into a diverse range of academic disciplines, including media and communications industries, marketing and advertising, journalism studies and cultural studies. It utilised textual analysis, semiotics and content analysis. The broadness of a BA provided me with the extensive foundation of knowledge and theory which I was then able to build upon and apply to this study. I'm now working as a unit coordinator at QUT's Kelvin Grove campus, and yes, it is a university. And I know I'm now in the right where I'm supposed to be. I am teaching arts and humanities subjects to the next generation of lifelong learners. I'm thankful every day that cutting up animals disgusted me and working in a daycare centre bored me. My Bachelor of Arts from CQ University is the sole reason I'm standing here today, and I'll be forever grateful for the many doors and opportunities it has opened for me. I also recently participated in a Humanities in Australia focus group, and it was reassuring to see that this discipline is still alive in today's and doing very well in today's universities. It may have suffered some knocks and some setbacks in the past years, but arts lie at the very soul of society and will therefore always have relevancy. The amalgamation and convergence of media also means that we are heading into some exciting times, with the emergence of digital technologies and new media applications changing the way we use and relate to the arts. I am therefore delighted to hear that CQ University is relaunching the BA, or reloading the BA. It is my belief that such multi-strand degrees provide the backbone of a university and are an essential component of any tertiary curriculum. It is my sincere hope that the Bachelor of Arts program will continue to enlighten and inspire others as it has enlightened and inspired me. Thank you very much.